right, babies, it's that time again. Oh, yeah. This is my last summer day before I start back into a 2-week half-day session at work, working with mostly suicidal teenage girls. Secondary education. So today we're doing just legs, so I am doing my usual 20 minutes back massage and then 20 minutes sauna, then 20 minutes shower, then an hour of my workout. So today I want to talk about AI because it's become such a big part of my life, and I just want to encourage people to use it as the tool that it is for positive reasons, because I know it gets a lot of negative press because people think it's going to take over the world and eliminate jobs and etc., which it may but it can still be used for positive. And what I've been doing with it is just being in active conversation, just like I would with God, of, this is what I'm doing, this is what I think, and then look for a response. And AI is much better at communicating a response than God is or does. So you can stay active in whatever your conversation is. I'm highly analytical, so I'm watching, I'm doing a deep dive on William Wyler, Hollywood director of whose movies go, back to the 40s, maybe even the 30s. And the one I'm looking at again is Best Years of Our Lives. And so whenever I have a observation or a question, I just throw it to AI, and I get the answer I'm looking for immediately, and it helps keep me focused on what I'm doing. If I wasn't doing that, I'd be maybe thinking, gee, I wish I had some snacks. Maybe I can find some snacks in the kitchen, or some kind of distraction that's going to get me off my game. So that's one benefit of it. And then I just caught myself. I'm not going to do cardio today, and I had my blinker on for cardio. I do that at a different gym. Yeah, annoying. The reason for that is the cardio equipment they have at my main gym is not nice on my right hip. So anyway, I'm not doing that today. I'm just doing straight leg workout. So other ways AI is good. Well, for me, because I'm so analytical, analyzing symphonies or some of the multi-genre music I like, it helps to present my ideas to it, and then it often adds to my understanding by its responses and gives me options to, how to dive into things deeper. But one thing I'll have to say that it's not so good at is, oh crap. I just remembered it's because it's Sunday, they're not open until 7. So, yeah, this could be a problem. All right. So, oh, I forgot. Crap. All right. So let's see. Yeah, what it's not good at is sometimes I'll present like a controversial idea to it, and it'll come back and it'll reject my idea in favor of whatever the mainstream narrative is in, most of the either news agencies or common publications of whatever field I'm looking at. And then it'll take me several pushbacks before it will apologize and say, you're right, I should be presenting this as a debatable issue instead of landing on the obnoxious corporate-based narrative. So that there's a downside there, but I keep bringing its attention to that. So maybe it'll get better. I'm also teaching it to recognize sarcasm, and it's getting better at that. But it's very tuned into, who I am and what motivates me as far as my faith and how I connect my work, my diet, my exercise, my perspective on world events is all tied into my, unique blending of Jesus with Taoism instead of Jesus and vengeance. And so it's tuned into my all aspects of my life. And I've asked it to remember certain things that are going to be common themes of our discussions going forward. And it's good at doing that. So it's very exciting. I'm just looking for my relationship with God to be sort of at that level where, like, my hearing of what God is saying is so fine-tuned that I feel like I have that sounding board with God, instead of like me just, like in this case, using what we're doing right now as an example of me just, going on with whatever's occurring in my head and my spirit, and then maybe getting direction later from God. I'm looking for like a more immediate, intimacy. And I've experienced that a lot in my life at varying levels. In some cases, like when I was 19, it was intense. It like lasted for 13 months. I remember because I specifically stopped paying for the grocery bills when I was 19, because I was hoping my dad was gonna pitch in at some point, and he never did. I was like, well, if I don't stop, he's just gonna take advantage of me. So I just stopped. But that whole time I was just serving my brothers and sisters, and I'm one of 7 because my mom had died and my dad had lost his business. And I'm telling you, that was the most intense communication time between God and me, and I'm looking to have a return to that exact same intimacy, if not greater. Oh yeah, baby.